Titanium Vault. I'm your host, RJ Bates III. And in today's episode, I'm going to share the top secret ways to utilize BatchLeads. As most of you know, BatchLeads is the main system and tool that we use here at Titanium Investments. It's what I use solely during the 50-50-50 challenge, as well as on Batch TV. It enables us to acquire the majority of our properties, and it's also the foundation of what we do here when it comes to acquisitions. Last week, I did an episode on how I pull a list, but today I'm going to show you some not really unknown ways, but to some people, if you're not utilizing the tool correctly, well, it's only as good as you're able to use it. And so I want to show you some things that maybe are unknown to people that are new to utilizing BatchLeads. So I'm going to jump into that right now. I'm going to share my screen here so you guys can see my BatchLeads. And the first thing that I'm going to talk about is tags, okay? So when you go to list search and you're pulling your list, we're going to use Richmond, Virginia as an example here. And I'm not going to go into everything else that goes into pulling a list because we have a specific video just for that. But if I decide that I want to pull these 346 tax defaults, I click on that. I then will select all, and then I will add them to a list. And then the tag, tax default. Now, this is very important that you tag the property itself with the correct name, okay? So I name all of our tags right here the same as the quick filters down here at the bottom. And this is very important because later on I'm going to show when you're communicating with the seller, this lets you know why you're communicating, why are they a motivated seller, as well as later on down the road, you can utilize these tags to build additional lists and be marketing to them in multiple different campaigns. Okay, so this is another part of laying the foundation to utilizing BatchLeads correctly, is utilizing the tags feature correctly. So name all of your tags, all of these quick filters down here at the bottom. I mainly use vacant, pre-foreclosures, cash buyers, tax defaults, expired listings, unknown equity, free and clear, and absentee owners. And inherited. But I would say name all of your tags, those quick filters down at the bottom. Okay, so that's top secret number one. Okay, just making sure that you utilize tags correctly. Okay, now the second thing I want to show you is in the properties tab. There's a lot of really interesting things that you could do inside the properties tab. One of the things that I like to do is when my acquisitions manager comes to me and says, I need more data, or I need a new campaign, or it's time for me to create a new campaign, I could go to filter, skip trace no, and apply that filter. What this is showing us is every property that we've pulled on BatchLeads that has not been skip traced, okay? And what I'm going to pay attention to is down here at the bottom, the quick filters again. It's going to give me an idea of the motivating factor of each one of those. So, for example, I have 273 properties that have filed bankruptcy right here in the bottom right corner that we have not skip traced. I have 215 pre-foreclosures that we have not skip traced. I have 11,304 tired landlords that we have not skip traced. So I can come in here and I can say, I'm going to take these 273 bankruptcies. And again, we're not pulling this list. We've already pulled this. So this is going to be from all of the different locations that we've ever pulled lists from. And you'll see that once it populates here, you'll see the different locations right here. So we have Oklahoma City and Jacksonville, Florida, as well as Albuquerque, New Mexico, just on this first page. We can select all of those and then skip trace those. Once we skip trace them, we can name it, and it gives you the opportunity to tag them. And then I would now tag those properties as bankruptcies, as well as whatever they were originally tagged for when we pulled the list. So this is another way that utilizing the properties tab, it enables us to find motivated sellers. Okay. Now, another thing that you could do inside the properties tab is you can select a list in here like Cleveland, Ohio, and apply that filter. And this is going to give us a large amount. When I pulled this list, I believe this is several thousand. We'll wait for it to populate here. Gives us 888. If I didn't want to skip trace all 888 of those records, what I could do is go to filters, and I could say I want all of the absentee owners and apply that filter and then skip trace it. This is the main reason why my list, when I include vacant, pre-foreclosures, inherited, all of the motivating factors that I pull a list, I call it absentee, because you always have the ability to add absentee on top. So it narrowed that list down to 783. So it eliminated 105 properties off of that list. So those are a couple of like just little things that you could do inside of the system utilizing tags and the properties tab to really kind of spearhead your marketing campaigns a little bit more. Okay. The next thing is using quick replies to build consistency within your acquisitions. So I'm going to go into my profile. I'm going to go into SMS settings, and I'm going to go into my quick replies. As you see here, you see my acquisitions managers and dispositions managers. We have Ron Shepard acquisitions. We've got Robert Garland dispo. As you go down, you see everybody also has acquisitions and dispositions. What's important about this is that our quick replies are all the same or relatively close. This is Robert Garland, and I'm interested in purchasing address. Are you looking to sell? Then they go to, I can make you an offer fairly quickly if we can go through a couple of questions. Then we have the questions. Is the property tenant or owner occupied? If rented, how much is the rent? How would you rate the condition? Perfect, good, ugly, or scary? And then the last one is, did you have an asking price in mind? The reason why this is important is because it gives consistency to the acquisitions managers on the questions that they're asking. This is building out a process within our business. Otherwise, whenever we were allowing people to come up with their own, they were asking all kinds of just random questions, and there was no process when it came to acquisitions. Now we've narrowed it down to those 4 quick replies are the process for Titanium Investments acquisitions during SMS. So utilize quick replies to build out your process within the system. Okay. The next thing I want to show you is using the properties tab for skip tracing. Okay. So I kind of touched base on this earlier, but when you come down here into the properties tab, this is a way for us to build out our nationwide campaigns. Normally what I do is I build out the list that's city specific. So if we come down here on our list, you'll see we have Texas, or here we go, Waterbury, Connecticut, dispositions, cash buyer. We've got Memphis, Tennessee, acquisitions, absentee. This is a list that I pulled on July 12th. This comes into this tab, and all of our properties exist now. At any point in time, I can say, I want to come in here and I want to see all of the properties that have been skip traced. And I could take one of these quick filters down here, or multiple ones, whichever I want to do. And I could say, I want to take these vacant properties, this 96,000 vacant properties, and I want to build out a campaign based off of that. Now it's no longer based off of the market specific with all the motivating factors. Now it's going to say, I'll take all of those nationwide campaigns and I'll just take all the vacant properties. Okay. Another thing that you could do is you could go to the filters tab and you could say, I want to see all of the properties that have 5 or more tags. Apply that. I'm assuming this is going to give us somewhere around, I don't know, 1,300 records. I haven't checked this in a while. Gives us 1,333. Boom. 1,300 records right here where we can just select all and push those to the campaign right here. Create a new campaign, nationwide acquisitions, 5+ tags / the date, September 19th, 2021. That allows us to work a nationwide campaign, and we know that those people are highly motivated because they have 5 or more tags, and because we're utilizing tags correctly, right? We're tagging them based off of the quick filters, vacant, tax default, liens, inherited, all of those types of things. So when you go in to your inbox and you see someone like this that responded and they're talking to you and you click on the address, you can go to list / tags and you will see the tags that we have for this address are tax default, liens, free and clear, bankruptcy. And you see they were on a list that we populated on March 18th of 2021. Now they're on a second list, which is September 3rd, 2021. My question to you is, if we're looking at this and we see someone that is behind on taxes, there's a lien on their property, they filed bankruptcy, but they own this property free and clear, do we think this is a good candidate, a good motivated seller for us to be reaching out to? In my opinion, this is an ideal scenario for us to be reaching out. We need to get in charge. We need to talk to the person in charge of this property because they clearly have fallen onto some financial hard times and they own a property that's tagged free and clear that they could be selling. And maybe the reason why they're selling is because it's physically distressed and they don't think that they can sell it. But we're the buyer. That's exactly what we're looking for. And this is why it's so important to be utilizing the tagging system appropriately. So make sure whenever you're inside of your inbox that you're utilizing the list / tags per property when you're talking to them and finding out. You also see that Batch has this distress indicators right here. Now, this is on top of your tagging system. This is always updated. So even if you pulled a list and you pulled a property, and the reason why it was on your list is because it was inherited. If it falls into pre-foreclosure, the system will automatically update and let you know that it's pre-foreclosure now, or that there was a recent divorce, or they filed bankruptcy, or that there's a new lien. So pay attention to the distress indicators as well as the list / tags. All right, guys. Those are my top secret ways that I utilize BatchLeads. Those are just 4 or 5 of the ways that I think this is the most powerful tool in all of real estate investing. I hope this helps you in your business. And if you have not seen me promote this before, half off your first month using BatchLeads using promo code Titanium right there. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much.